Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Wow, that was very in unison. How are y'all doing?
It's good. Lovely day here in Charleston.
Yeah, awesome. So by the time this airs, it'll be October 1st, which is going to be coming up on St. Francis Day. Pretty awesome. So which brings us to our first question. Who is St. Francis and what is St. Francis Day about?
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say he's a saint, and that's about all I know.
Okay.
He is, I think, the one. So, it's funny that, the way you asked the question, Pastor, we could say the Pope, the current Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, the leader of the Roman Catholic Church, he calls himself, he chose the name because popes, when they become elected Pope, get to choose their own names. I think his name was it George?
I don't know.
George, I think.
I was thinking Francis of Assisi, but
Well, so he chose to call himself St. Francis, but he chose it because he admired this, as Daniel said, this saint of long ago in the Roman Catholic Church, named St. Francis and of Assisi. And he was an Italian friar. And we often think of St. Francis in his love of animals, but it was really, I think, more than just animals. It was creation. So when we remember him, we often think of all of creation around him. And we often see these little statues of St. Francis in people's gardens. And it's a reminder, and sometimes they're like this, and birds can land on the palms of his hands. It's a way to certainly celebrate animals, but even more, in a more important way, all of God's creation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How do you keep rolling around with all of that info in your head, Pastor Eric?
I did a little sermon on him a few years ago, and I there's more, but I don't want to say and get any facts wrong. So
yeah.
Wikipedia. That's how he knows it. Wikipedia.
It makes me wonder what he would think of creation today if St. Francis came back.
Well, I think he would be happy that every week in our prayers, one of the very first prayers that we do in the prayers of intercession is a prayer for creation. It's also often for lakes and streams and rivers and oceans and meadows and tundra and savannas, but really it's about creation. It's about how God created and continues to create, and we are entrusted to help protect God's creation.
Nice. So
yeah.
So we talk about celebrating St. Francis Day. So how do we at St. Matthew's, or how are we at St. Matthew's going to celebrate St. Francis Day?
Jazzy Animals.
Love it.
That's right.
Jazz paws.
On Sunday, this coming Sunday, it will be at 4:00 in the courtyard, and going to be a wonderful. It's one of the ones that people love, I think, of all of our Vesper services, because they get to bring their pets to be blessed.
So we're going to see Charles and Rafiki.
Yes.
Aww.
Other parishioners' pets. Usually the people bring their dogs. Cats don't travel well often, but sometimes in other churches, not here at St. Matthew's, but people have brought their bunnies. There was a family brought their chickens one year. One family was gonna bring their horse in the trailer, but they didn't do that. But
I keep holding up hope that somebody brings a snake for you to bless one day.
Well, I want to say it's St. John the Divine in New York. I'll have to check on this before I do it. But there is a church in New York City that there's animals that come from the Brooklyn Zoo to be blessed. So some exotic animals from the Brooklyn Zoo that get blessed. So your boa constrictors and that kind of thing.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right. It's the Cathedral of St. John the Divine up in the Upper West Side. Yep.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
So our last question, well, actually wanted to say, also, you said this is Jazzy Animals. We're gonna have jazz at this service, and I like the music. I think last time we sang Arky Arky. I think we should sing All God's Critters this year, but we're gonna have some awesome music. Jasmine's gonna come back and sing for this service as well, so can't wait.
You're right. It's a great service. It really is. And we'll finish it up with a little reception afterwards. It's a fun service, and so the weather holds out and we're all together.
Yeah.
Do come and bring your pet. Even if you don't have a pet, come and worship and see other people's pets.
Or if your pet doesn't travel well, you can always bring a picture of your pet.
That's right. That's right.
There you go.
And also, we listen to the liturgy because it's not just about animals and pets. It is a celebration of an honoring of creation at this service as well.
All right. So our last question. This is depending on which circle you're in, this could be a hotly contested question, but I think we might be in agreement here. So we bring our pets, they are blessed at blessing of the animals. We love them dearly. So the question is, do pets go to heaven?
My only response is anybody that says no, what is it like living life wrong? Just curious. No, in all seriousness, yeah, I think the answer is yes. Why wouldn't they? If we look at scripture, all of creation is wrapped up in this in God's salvation and God's plan of salvation. So it seems silly to suggest that, or it seems, silly to me to suggest that because there are pets, they somehow aren't a part of God's bigger plan for creation and the redemption of creation.
And God made all of creation, and God looked at it and said it was good. So why wouldn't that something that good be in heaven, including our pets? Oh, Charles.
Absolutely. I mean, I think of what Martin Luther said when his own beloved dog died. He said, "Be thou comforted, for thou too in heaven shall have a little golden tail."
Aww.
So I think so. I just think, how can this important part of God's creation not be there with us, to meet us there? I just think so. That's just me. Yeah, so.
He's being exceptionally sweet today.
But some traditions would say no. They would say no. That's not how it is. I think so. I think they are. They will be there with us.
Yeah.
We do.
Oh man,
That's a good question, Pastor.
We can sit here and watch Charles for the rest of the video. You know. Aw. Yeah. Right. So some good questions there, and can't wait for seeing everybody at our Jazzy Animals service and celebrate. It'll be a lot of fun. So,
yeah.
Cool.
Looking forward to it. Jazz Vespers is always just a fun time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it's really neat how people, because we do it in the courtyard, people will come just off the street and just to see, like, what are we doing with our pets at worship? Yeah. Cool.
Where do boys and girls send their questions if they have them?
Yeah, that's a good question. Where do they send them, Daniel?
Well, we have a couple options now that we've kind of begun our in-person stuff. You can find me on Sunday morning and I'll make a note, or you can email me at youth@smlccharleston.org.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, we look forward to hearing from our boys and girls and even our adults too, if they have questions, and look forward to seeing y'all next week.
Bye, everybody.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye.